hello again, and welcome back to this installment of Spiritual Wisdom. I'm grateful to all of you who follow me here and of this little community here on YouTube. And to all of you who follow me here and have been here before, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Nicholas, and on my channel I talk about witchcraft, Wicca, paganism, self-love, and all matter of philosophical and spiritual topics. So, if you like those types of things, you know what to do. Please subscribe, join this amazing community so you may receive knowledge that will help you on your spiritual journey and path to help you become wise and help you through life's journey. And if you click the bell icon so you'll be notified each time I post a new video. If you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. Today I'm going to be talking about creating strong boundaries. Now this has to do with self-love. I'm creating strong boundaries. Now, as I've said, you don't want to say yes. There's lots of times, like I used to do it, there'd be times in my life, because I used to be a people pleaser, I didn't always love myself, I didn't always understand the importance of self-love, I was not always a confident individual, but becoming very spiritual, discovering self-love, learning about self-love, and putting what I know about self-love into practice has helped me become a more confident person, and working with angels and guides and walking a spiritual path. This has helped me become a more confident individual. But, you know, I used to care a lot about what other people thought about me. I used to say yes to a lot of things I wanted to say no to because I had a fear with no one, you know, I wanted everyone to like me and I didn't want to say no to people. I didn't want to let people down. But loving myself and working with angels and guides has helped me that. I no longer care what people think of me because at the end of the day, I know who I am, the universe knows who I am, and only the universe and the higher powers can judge me. No mortal man has the right to judge another mortal man. We don't, you know, we can use discernment, but it's best not to use judgment. But, you know, and it's important to be mindful of our actions. But when it comes to creating strong boundaries, this doesn't make you a nasty or cruel person. It's just with friends and family. Yes, you treat other people with kindness, respect, put good energy out, and more often not, people will treat you good. But if they don't, you've got to be the better person in that situation and leave wrongdoers and wicked people to the universe. If someone was to attack you, you have a right to defend yourself. But when it comes to creating strong boundaries, it's about making sure that friends and family know what you're comfortable with and uncomfortable with, you know, and they're strong. You make it very clear what you're uncomfortable with and what you're comfortable with. Like a simple example of this would be like if you're in the bath and you've told all your family, could you please, I'm going for a bath, but before I go, could all of you, use the bathroom before I go in the bath because I don't want to be disturbed when I'm in the bath, right? Now that is a boundary. Or you could be saying what you're praying, meditating, or you're doing something for you, and you've said to your family, friends, do not disturb me, and if you've told your friends and family what not to do, but that's your boundary. You've created a strong boundary there. You say, do not do that because it makes me uncomfortable, or I don't feel right when you do that. If you've made it clear to friends and family what you're uncomfortable with and they disrespect that, it's like having a red line. Like, we should all have red lines in our life, all of us, meaning having a strong boundaries is like everyone, if you're in someone else's house, that individual has rules. You can't do what you want in someone else's house because it's not your house. You've got to respect that person's boundaries. So there's certain lines you do not cross. There's certain lines you do not cross. And life with friends and family, that if you've told them what you're uncomfortable with and they disrespect your boundaries, when you've made it very clear, that is disrespect. And you've got a choice. Are you going to put up with that behaviour? Are you going to stand up for yourself? Because we always have a choice. You could have said, like, some people don't like their picture being took, okay? Maybe they've told their parent or guardian, I don't want my picture took, please don't take my picture. Right, that person may have some shadow work to deal with, but they're not ready to get a picture took. They feel uncomfortable with that. So the best thing there is to respect that friend or family member's boundaries. Do not cross that red line. And ultimately in life, we should all have red lines, meaning things we're uncomfortable with, things that people shouldn't cross. And if they do cross that red line, when you've told them, don't do that, then you should remove that person from your life. And I know that's easier said than done, because if you're living with your family, it's quite hard. But if your family love you like they claim, they should respect your boundaries. And if your friends claim to love you and care about you the way they say they do, they shouldn't overstep that red line. You know, because if someone loves you and respects you, they're not going to walk all over the top of you. They're not going to use you. They're not going to abuse you. They're not going to walk all over the top of you. I do get it though. Sometimes parents or friends, they might do something to you what you're uncomfortable with, but they've not got the knowledge, but you're uncomfortable with that. So it's so important to tell friends and family what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with, what sort of lines they shouldn't cross, because they might think their behaviour is acceptable, but to you that behaviour is not acceptable and it triggers you or you find it offensive. So it's so important to have those strong boundaries where people around you know what you're comfortable with and what you're uncomfortable with, and you don't stand for it. It's like you told someone, do not for example, this is a simple thing, like my mum loves watching like Emmerdale and all that, and she tells a lot of her friends, do not disturb me when Emmerdale's on. She tells them what times it's on, she tells them what time it finishes at, and she tells friends and family, do not disturb her when she's watching that, right? Now if they've got that, and some friends have had the knowledge and they've disrespected that boundary and have said, well mum, those people are toxic and negative because they've done it more than once. And there's, that is a boundary. If someone said to you, don't come to my door at a specific time, if a friend or even if a family member doesn't live with you, but you've said to a family member, do not come to my door at that time of night or time of day, and they do come to your door when they know what you've told them, that's disrespect. That's them crossing a red line. And you shouldn't tolerate that, because if someone loves you, they're going to respect what you're comfortable with, what you're uncomfortable with. They're not going to walk all over the top of you. But also in life, we've got more power than what we think we can. We can't control other people's thoughts, actions and behaviours, but we can control how we respond to other people. And when someone disrespects us and they disrespect our boundaries, we should not put up with that behaviour. Because if you said, no, I don't want you to do that, then you shouldn't do it. Period. It's like if someone said, you're in my house, if you want a cup of tea or anything, don't just go in my kitchen. Ask me. Some people are like that. You have to remember, for a lot of people, their home is their safe place. So if you're invited to someone's home, that's an honour. And you've got to remember, I don't, when it comes to going into people's houses, I would always knock the door, and I would never just walk into someone's house. But there was one of my good friends, I do just walk in, but that's because his parents and that have said that's okay. But in the beginning, I would have tapped the door and waited for an answer, because to me, it's so important to respect people's boundaries. And a lot of people would not be comfortable with you just walking at their house, especially if you've been uninvited. And even if you've been invited, some people would rather you waited to tap the door and they let you in. So it's so important. And that, for me, I do my best to respect people's boundaries. And also I like to know when I make friendships or relationships with people, I like them to make it clear to me what they're comfortable with and what they're not. And I always try and be respectful with people, because it's important to be mindful of our energy. What energy we put out, we always get back. When it comes to creating boundaries, and we want them to be strong, it's like you're telling other people how they should and shouldn't treat you. You know, you're telling them that. And if you allow people to cross the red line, you're allowing people to disrespect you and walk all over the top of you. And you're telling people what are not good for you and shouldn't be a part of your life, where they can treat you any way they feel like. They think that because you're not standing up for yourself. And it's so important to have strong boundaries, stand up for yourself, and don't take anyone's hogwash or poppycock. Don't take anyone's codswallop. You know, don't suffer fools gladly would be my message. And it's so important to stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself. Don't tolerate disrespect. Sometimes you've got to remove yourself from disrespectful people. But when disrespectful people are in front of you, they're disrespecting your boundaries, and you've told them what you're uncomfortable with. You need to remove those people, or, avoid them like the plague, because good people what are good for you, be that family members, friends, would respect your boundaries. As always, giving you a wise message, and my message in this video is to create strong boundaries, make it clear to friends and family what you're uncomfortable with. We've all got those red lines you shouldn't cross, and make sure no one crosses your red lines. And once people know what your red lines are, a good friend or family member would never disrespect your boundaries. And you've got power, because you can't pick your family, but you do get to decide if the family you're born into, when you're old enough, are they going to be a part of your life or are they not? And you get to pick your friends, but the same record goes. Pick your friends wisely, and you get to decide who's going to be part of your inner circle and who's not. And don't let anyone walk over the top of you or disrespect you. And sometimes you've just got to walk away from disrespectful people. Other times, if someone's right there and then and they're disrespecting you in your face, there's times where you've got to speak up for yourself as well. And that's my message. Create strong boundaries, stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself, and don't tolerate people that cross your red line. Don't tolerate people like that in your life. And that's part of self-love, because when you love yourself, you're in a good place mentally, emotionally. And self-love is not about being selfish, it's making sure you're in a good place mentally, emotionally, physically. And then you give that energy to people that are good for you. Because they're good for you, and you love them, they love you. It's you give them good energy, they give you good energy back, and you uplift each other. But you don't want to give your energy in life to the wrong people, especially people that disrespect your boundaries. As always, giving you a wise message. Until next time, stay safe, stay magical and wise. Blessed be.